Alright, Shalom. Before I begin this video, all praise, honor, and glory goes into Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone, GMS, rule well and teach well from the elder apostles Tahar on down, along with the sincere salutations to the elder bishops, along with you brothers laboring in this truth, bringing out the words of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash throughout the four winds of the earth. Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash, Barakatham, unto you, brothers, and may the Heavenly Father, okay, and His Son, through the Holy Spirit, watch over and protect you, brothers, in these last days. This is a video lesson entitled "Everybody Hates the Whore." Everybody hates the whore. Everybody hates the hoe. Who's that whore? Babylon the Great, aka America. So this is a article from Politico, and I'm Lord's will, I'm gonna put the actual article in the description box because I'm not gonna go through all of it. I did do a little, simple proofreading of it. U.S. popularity collapses worldwide in wake of Trump's return. The world is more divided than ever, but there's still something nearly everyone agrees on. The U.S. is unloved. So there's a rumor going around that this place is finished. We've heard that rumor. coming from Yahweh Shem Yahshai Ba'ashem Rakakwadash, through Israelite men, those men, right, are the elder apostles of Great Millstone on down. There's a rumor we've been hearing for the longest, okay, and this is prophecy, that the whole world is going to turn on Babylon the Great, aka America, and bombard this place with intercontinental ballistic missiles, right? Nuclear capable intercontinental ballistic missiles. It says the U.S. is becoming less popular globally. All right, so over 100 countries. It says it summarizes attitudes towards democracy, geopolitics, and global power players. And within this graph, you can see that while these other nations are steadily climbing up, the U.S. is declining. See, because this whore at one point was like the girl, everybody went to school with that one girl that actually was pretty well liked because she was a hoe. Like basically the number one hoe. The number one bitch of the city, the number one bitch of the town. And everybody seemed to always even though she's a hoe, everybody seems to be gravitated towards her just based off the fact that she's a whore. And a whore has many different avenues, many different resources, and can always figure something out. Every brother in this truth has encountered this, like a true hoe, a whore. She get dropped off by one nigga. 10 minutes later, another nigga pick her up. Then that other nigga drops her off at another nigga's house. Then while she at the other nigga's house, it's another nigga giving her, buying some food, placing some food down. Then to end the night, she with another nigga. Okay. And not only that, she's also selling it. So after a while, you do that. You're gonna get all these different things. But after a while, shit, as time goes by, that's when the resentment is gonna come in. You're gonna get wore out. See, this place, America, is like an old, wore out whore that has just been whoring for too long. And everybody that she done burnt, and everybody that she done disrespected and took from, stole from, now they want their get back. And it's biblical. All right, it says the net global perception of select countries. So you can see this place is through. This place is out of here. We don't have much longer here. And that's another thing. All these other countries, they have a hatred for America and Americans. Right? The average American is impulsive. Yeah, well, the average American acts just like the whore. Acts just like the hoe. They not worried about shit. They can always get, it's always another person. It's always another. That's the mindset of a hoe. She not worried about, loyalty, respect, keeping somebody around that does right by you. Hell no. A whore will switch out men like nothing. Boom, she's selling it all night. She turn around, she goes, she party. That's Babylon the Great, aka America. It's like a whore. It says a majority of the people surveyed had an overall negative perception of the U.S. It says America's reputation took a massive hit in EU countries. And once again, the beast is going to hate the whore. NATO and the EU is going to hate the whore. Babylon the Great, aka America. It says, perhaps unsurprisingly, and why is that? Because just look at how, look at how this place props itself up, and we know that it's these international bankers. We know that this is their marketplace. This is their playground. This is actually where they come to do a lot of you can get away with a lot of heinous, vile acts here in America. You can do basically anything here. On the low. You can buy in America, you can buy anything in America on the low. The elite, this is where they go to, and I'm not gonna get into too many details, they get the flagging stuff, but this is their playground, so to speak. So when you hear these different instances of them, drinking certain liquids, when you hear about them deleting youngins, and I'm wording it a certain way, because you say that A word, you say that A Google Chrome, you say that word, they gonna strike it down. Yeah, and that also has a big market here, right? Like when you go to them different drives, and they got that big ass red bus in front of your job. They got that big ass, red bus all over the place, right? That they're using that. They're using that. A lot of these like when you write down on your ID that you don't mind giving up your insides to science when something happens to you. When something does happen to you, they're going to take that and they're going to sell it. Everything is a market here. Everything has some sort of market value here in Babylon the Great. All right, it says, DJ T has called the block horrible, pathetic, and formed to screw the U.S. Just like a whore. Here it is. This hoe has had everything handed to her on a fucking silver platter. Okay. She done got other people involved in her mess, creating infighting, destabilization, little whispers. She'll go to one country and whisper in their ear, then go to the other country, whisper in their ear, have them both fighting, and then she'll turn around and get somebody else to come and backdoor the both of them, just like a whore. A whore, you hear about these different whores, setting men up. All right, that's the U.S. The U.S. The U.S., aka Babylon the Great, is that whore written about in the Book of Revelation. So I'm just gonna read to right here, and then I'm actually get. It says former NATO chief said that he was not surprised that perceptions of the U.S. have fallen so sharply. This is a map that compares the popularity of the U.S. and China in each country based on their net perception score, measured as the difference between the share of respondents with a positive perception minus those with a negative perception of each country. The country with the higher net score is relatively more popular or less unpopular. So in the red, you can see, damn. In the red, you can see who is fooling with China more. And in this green right here, you can see that the U.S. is quote unquote more popular. But what you also have to consider looking at this graph is that the gray area to the right, that right there is Russia, who is definitely in league with China. So that shit might as well be all red. Then below that, in the middle, right in between China and Russia, you have Mongolia, who obviously, is on their side. And then below that, in the gray right here, I didn't think that would do that. But in the gray, you have actual China right here. And then, of course, I believe to the left right there, that's the Middle East. I don't know specifically what that country right there is in between that. I believe that may be Saudi Arabia. In between the end of Africa and right there. So all of them are definitely anti-America. So that whole gray section, including within Africa right there, all up in there. See that gray section, really all of that to the right should be red. And all of these ones that are blue are eventually going to turn red. It's going to get to the point where the only people that are in support of Babylon the Great is Babylon the Great. The whole world is going to turn on this place, man. And it gets into, different graphs and whatnot. So I'm gonna put it in the description box and just move on to the scriptures. All right, this is Revelation chapter 17 and verse 1. And, they have, I guess, like a header that says the doom of Babylon, right? So, Lord's will, if the Spirit allows, I'm going to get the definition of doom. Revelation 17 and 1. And there came one of the seven angels which had the seven vials, and talked with me, saying unto me, Come hither, I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters. All right, so there's going to be a judgment that's going to come to Babylon the Great, aka America. That is that great whore that sitteth upon many waters. And not just physically with the bases, but one of the themes and one of the main things that the military likes to say is, this is basically a battle of hearts and minds. So they physically conquer, but even after they physically conquer and they leave or whatever the case is, it's a mental thing with them. They sitteth upon many waters, not only physically with their bases, but the whole world goes off of the vibration of America. Everybody in the world, basically, in one form or another, has like an American mindset now. Okay, in the year 2025, you can go over to certain parts of India where they wouldn't dare do half the shit they do now. You got the you got the women out of order. That's part of it. That's part of the wine reaching like the furthest parts of the earth. You and I'm being facetious here, but you got an Eskimo somewhere, drinking a Coca-Cola, talking shit, smoking a Black and Mild. Salakia. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 17, in verse 2. With whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication. All right, so the kings of the earth have committed fornication with Babylon the Great, aka America. All all you citizens of these different countries, you essentially have been sold out by your leaders. Your leaders have sold you out. Over in Japan, you used to have a whatever it's called, komodo. You had your different traditions. Once again, we don't really look into the traditions of the other nations. Yet, we know about them. We've heard about them. All the different things that makes a so-called Japanese man. Whatever those different customs and things of that nature, whatever those things are, that has been basically taken away. Basically, the whole world is Americanized. It says, with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication. So, like I live in Florida, and one of the phrases that you say when you're in league with somebody is, okay, hey, I'm a fuck with you. Like, you could say, hey, I'm a fuck with you, or you could say, hey, I'm fucking with you, or you could even say, hey, I'm out. I'll catch y'all later. Fuck with me. You know what I'm saying? You and y'all are you in league. The whole world is in league with this whore. They locked in, so to speak. Which brothers know what I'm talking about. You know, and that's the beauty of being here in America, is that we get to see this place slowly fall, man. That's a beautiful lot to be in. Lord's will we be beamed up. Lord's will we be of the elect of the nation of Israel. We get to have the inside scoop, because we could be in Australia somewhere, which of course you have brothers teaching this truth all over the world. You know, yeah, it's going to be a very special experience. Lord's will we be of the elect to get beamed up out of Babylon the Great as it's being destroyed by the missiles. And that's why we're here. We're here, Lord's will, to get saved and to be preserved and to be saved out of this place. So we double down through the Spirit. Physically, we double down. We're not buying a plane ticket. You know, we're not buying a plane ticket and trying to escape America, trying to escape, you know, the destruction. No, we're gonna stay here. We're gonna prophesy. We're gonna follow the Lord to the best of our abilities, and then Lord's will be delivered. You know, that's our hope. You know, and it's the Lord's determination to save His elect. So He is going to save His elect. Lord's will we be of the elect of the nation of Israel. Revelation 17:2. With whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication. So your leaders, right? They have taken on, they've taken on that American way, and it's passed it on to you. So now the inhabitants are just like the leaders. You know, just thinking about here in Babylon the Great, aka America. You know, the leaders on both sides of the, democracy, whether that's Democratic, Republic, whatever the case is. It's all the same shit. It's all the same goal. And ultimately, how the leaders are here, that's how the people are. Brother Lakama always likes to speak on the fact that they're basically banging. That's basically what it is. Like when you see a Republican, when you see a Democrat, they basically, one got a blue flag, one got a red flag. It's basically banging. Because if you could go somewhere, and you walk in and you gonna know kind of the political, you gonna know the political atmosphere of whatever room you walk into. You gonna know, and basically, if you kind of can't figure it out within the first probably about 2 minutes, you gonna figure out, okay, in this room, if there's 20 people in this room, you're gonna get the political. You're gonna see how people feel with their politics. These people are highly opinionated, ignorant. That's just the average Babylonian, the average American. And see, they want to talk about Jake banging, which of course we know that's wicked. Yet Esau Edom does just as much banging as Jake. Let you walk up in, let you go somewhere. I'm trying to think of somewhere super conservative. You know, middle of nowhere, Iowa. You know, you go to Nebraska or somewhere. let you walk up in there with a t-shirt, with Kamala Harris on it. You might get your ass mollywopped up out of that building. They might beat your ass down just for walking in there, and vice versa. Let you have a red hat on with MAGA across the top. They gonna beat you out the frame depending on where you go, because it's literally political banging. D versus R. The elephant, and that's the spirit. That's the spirit. A guy just drove past with a giant Trump flag, hanging out of a brand new Charger. The flag was bigger than the car. And you have four what looked to be Edomites in the Charger with all the windows rolled down, and they all looking around like basically who want it? Who want it? See, this the new thug nigga. Jake like to talk about, I'm a thug nigga. This the new thug nigga, the political gangbanger. Okay, and it's gonna get to a physical point. Because not only do all these nations hate Babylon the Great, but within Babylon the Great, there's already its own hate culture. The average American hates the next American. It really don't matter what political, there's just a general sense of hatred. And the scriptures speak about that. Right? Speak about the earth waxing cold. And it's beautiful to see. It's beautiful to see the hatred growing more and more on these people. We fucking hate you too. And excuse my language. But anybody who hates Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, hates the prophecies, nigga, we hate you right back. We hate you more. Right? Esau hate us. We hate you too. Okay? The heathen, we hate your ass too. And honestly, we can't wait. we can't wait to have you in them chains. Right? And when I say we can't wait, it's just a figure of speech. Of course, we're gonna wait. But we're excited. We're giddy with excitement. Knowing that the same motherfucker giving you a mean mug. Here it is. You got Elam. You walk up in the store, Elam giving you a mean mug. That's all right. That's all right. See, these scriptures are coming to life before our very eyes, and it's animated. The Lord has breathed life into us, and we can see what's taking place. And that's why we continue to say Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai. Bless you, Yahweh. Bless you, Yahweh Shai, for showing us this, for showing us what's to take place and what's about to happen. Because these people have no earthly idea what's about to take place here in Babylon the Great, aka America. All right? Okay, you've been so the average Babylonian doesn't understand that this place is sold out. This place is through. And there's an article that I seen earlier speaking on Trump basically walking back on the tariffs. It's too late. The goose is cooked. The damage is done. They could say, okay, no tariffs starting today. It wouldn't make a difference. There's already been enough shipments missed. It's too big of a gap. There's just too big of a gap now with the supply and the demand. Revelation 17:3. So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness. And I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast, full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns. which once again, NATO and the EU. See, that is this whore's pet. That's that fierce beast that the whore rides upon. See, because here in Babylon the Great, you can see that there is some sense of law and order, here. And also, just beyond here, the influence of America. People fear America. People fear the idea of America coming in and wrecking shop. The EU, NATO coming in and wrecking shop. All right? And basically, who can take on NATO and the EU? What who's taking that on? Right? Who's taking that beast on, man? That's how the people think. Right? They happy to be ruled over, the EU, NATO, and America spearheads everything. Everything is based off of the vibration of America. Revelation 17:4. And the woman was Salakia. I'm going to read 3 again. Revelation 17:3. So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness. And I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns. And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls. And look at how people see America, man. Everyone around the world, they dream of just stepping foot in here. Just to be here, right? Because there's a sense of decadence with this place. You got AC, water. Brother Dahl was speaking, we were at camp a couple of days ago, about how ultimately if you live in America, shit, you spoiled. Right? We got AC. You got some Netflix. You can go to the store, buy some tomatoes. There's AC up in there. All right? You got different technology. There's some places in the world, they don't have no, Wi-Fi. All right? Revelation 17:4. It says, and the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls. So the world sees America as just this royal, monumental, it's bigger than life. Everybody has this assumption about America. Oh, it's basically the land of milk and honey. When really, like the elder apostle always goes into, it's basically a giant altar. See, the Lord is going to destroy 2/3 of his people here. He's going to destroy 2/3 of his people here by way of intercontinental ballistic missile. He's going to destroy the heathen that's here. Everyone outside of the elect of the nation of Israel is going to be destroyed. Here in Babylon the Great, aka America. If you not of the elect of the nation of Israel, you done for. You done with. It's over with. We can see it. We can envision the missiles dropping down on this place and melting this place. Right? We can envision it. We can envision the screams of the people. We can envision, the burning and and that's just, that's just what we can fathom. The Lord is going to take the things in our imagination and he's going to increase it in ways, we cannot even comprehend. We're going to have to be in them new bodies to even comprehend the magnitude of that destruction. Because if you just in a regular body, if you just in a regular old body like how we have now, and you see this place get bombarded, your ears are gonna be bleeding. You're gonna have a headache. The light, the light is gonna be messing up your eyes. No. When we see this place get destroyed, Lord, will we be of the elect? We're going to be looking at this place being destroyed with perfect vision in a perfect body. So we're not going to have to wince our eyes or turn our head and kind of have our hand in front of our face. We're going to be able to see and see. We'll also have a perfect fear of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. We will fear the Lord perfectly in that day. Because there's nothing wrong with fearing the Lord. That's what you're supposed to do. 2/3 of Israel don't have a fear for the Lord. We're going to have a perfect fear for the Lord. So as this is happening and this place is being bombarded, we're going to give all praise to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, thanking him, damn, that was close. That could have been us with a perfect fear too. We're going to be screaming, and I'm just speaking as a man, we're going to be screaming out, call halal Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. The scriptures speak about in the blink, or Salakia, in the twinkling of an eye, right, will be changed. It's going to be boom, instant. Revelation 17:5, it says, and upon her forehead was a name written. Right? And so, and this, this is so everyone can see. This is written on her forehead. This is what she pushes out. This is what she pushes out to the world. Right? And upon her forehead was a name written. Which obviously, if there's a name written on her forehead, this is her. This is what she represents. Right? Like when you wear a headband with, with someone, and when a football player wears a helmet with their symbol on it, when a soldier, wears his helmet with his, country on it, right? That is that's what they're representing. Okay? Upon her forehead was a name written. Mystery. Babylon the Great. So it's a mystery to the average person, right? Those who are not in the know. It's a mystery who and what Babylon the Great is. Not everybody knows that Babylon the Great is America. It's a mystery. It says, and upon her forehead was a name written. Mystery, Babylon the Great. All right? So it is a mystery. Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. Yeah, so the worst, most vilest doctrines and ideas and everything that makes wickedness wicked comes from this place, America. America, aka Babylon the Great, is the most wicked disgusting, vile place to ever exist in history. There's no comparison. I mean, you can you can just walk down the street. You might turn into an alleyway. You might see a guy with a leg, the size of a, fucking refrigerator. He not only that, he a Mo. He got some sort of, thing going on. He a Mo. He's sitting there in the alleyway with a black and mild posted up. He do this, he do that. It's like the abomination. It just gets worse and worse. Like, you could just be here. You just being here, it makes Jake worse and worse. That's also an indicator that Yahweh Shem Shai has his Holy Spirit down here on the earth. Because as everybody is getting worse and worse, the elect, Lord, will we be of the elect of the nation of Israel, is getting better and better by getting closer to Yahweh Shem Shai. Revelation 17 and 5 once again. And upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery, Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. And I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints and with the blood of the martyrs of Yahushua. And when I saw her, I wondered with great admiration. Because just looking at this place, man, it's impressive. A lot of times I meditate and I think about how this place is established and how they were able to establish this place in not only such a short amount of time, but you go to places like, I'm just going to start naming some cities. You go to places like Miami, New York City, Houston, San Diego, these places, like, especially the Spirit got me thinking about Miami. They were able to build, grids, all sorts of telecommunications grids, electronic grids, different zoning, gas pipelines. They were able to build up all this shit in such a small amount of time and have built like a mini kingdom. America is like a mini kingdom. Now physically it's very vast, it's very big. Yet it's like a little miniature kingdom. Even though this place is small, it controls and runs the world, right? The elite, the banking elite, they use this place as a giant mouthpiece and a giant horn to proclaim, what they envision in their mind. Freedom. This nigga's a liar. See, Esau want to make you more captive. See, he talking about freedom, yet he's trying to take you away from your power, you Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. You are God's chosen people. You are the Israelites. So by him giving you quote-unquote freedom, that's basically him putting a wedge between you and the Lord. Because you want to be free. You want to do what you want to do. You basically want to be a whore. A whore just does what she wants to do. With whoever, whenever, however. They take on the people here, they take on the characteristics of a hoe. And that's why, the women are hoes. The women are hoes. 9 times out of 10, if you see a female, she's a hoe. That's just what it is. right? Yet she's considered free, right? She should be able to love who she want to love. That's fucking wicked. A woman is supposed to have one man. That's who you're supposed to stick with. But they talk about it's boring. They talk about that ain't right. That's not freedom. And that's part of the reason why this place is gonna be fucking destroyed, man. And may Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua Ba'Shem Akakwadash, we ask him to speed up time, to have these prophecies pop harder than ever. And he is fulfilling our prayers. He is fulfilling our wishes. He has this place right where he wants it, and he's going to destroy it. See, this is the Lord's determination. The Lord is determined to save his elect from an impending doom and an impending destruction. And let me get, because I'm actually in this video. Let me end the video by getting the definition of doom. See, because the Spirit had me to bring up the word doom, and that reminded me earlier in the video to get the definition for doom. Okay. Well, let me actually read down. In Lord's will, I can still get the definition for doom. Revelation 17:7. And the angel said unto me, Wherefore didst thou marvel? I will tell thee the mystery of the woman and of the beast that carrieth her. So it's also a mystery on who the beast is. All right, it says, I will tell thee the mystery of the woman and of the beast that carrieth her. So we know that, it's speaking on the woman first and the beast that's carrying her. So we know that America is represented in a higher regard than the EU and NATO. America is that whore sitting pretty. It says, which hath the 7 heads and 10 horns. The beast that thou sawest was and is not, and shall ascend out of the bottomless pit, and go into perdition. And they that dwell on the earth shall wonder, whose names were not written in the book of life from the foundation of the world. So the elect is not going to be persuaded and swayed by the words and the actions of Babylon the Great, all right, and the beast, because America, aka Babylon the Great, and NATO and the EU, the beast, they're coming with a lifestyle. See, the current lifestyle is already wicked enough, but this nigga coming with something new. See, he coming with a sea hip. He trying to bring a sea hip into the equation. A whole new order, a whole new order of the world, right? Revelation 17:8 continuing, whose names were not written in the book of life from the foundation of the world. So from the jump, the Lord already had his elect, right? When they behold the beast that was and is not and yet is. Because this was something that had to be built up. And then when it came around, it was almost instant. Because of how fast this has come along. Now you got shit. The NATO and the EU runs everywhere outside of Babylon the Great. Right? You get war crimes. How do you get accused of war crimes and different things like that. That's them different. What do you call it? That's how they call you out. NATO, the EU, they'll call you out. Okay, these people right here are committing war crimes. We're gonna come and we're gonna give them democracy, a fresh start. Right? Revelation 17 and 9, it says, "And here is the mind which hath wisdom. The 7 heads are 7 mountains on which the woman sitteth." And Esau, Edom can be broken down basically into groups and groups and families and nations, right? Like we like to sit here and say, "Oh, this guy is French. This guy is German, right? This guy is from Poland, the Netherlands." No, those are Edomites. Those are Edomites. So Esau, Edom has an actual concrete power structure that just goes beyond just families and whatnot. He has whole countries, this nigga has a whole way of life. And he's very proud of that. Esau is very proud of how he rules the earth. It says, Revelation 17 and 10, it says, and there are 7 kings, 5 are fallen, and 1 is, and the other is not yet come. And when he cometh, he must continue a short space. So we're in the time of that short space. We're in that time in which, the beast is getting ready to turn. Because for the longest, the beast was up under the woman, was serving the woman. Now the beast is getting angry and upset. The beast ain't getting fed, like he was. She's starting to hit the beast. She calling the beast out of his name. Anyway, hey, you treat a beast bad enough, like you treat a horse bad, the first couple days he gonna be like, man, what the hell? But as time goes on, and in that horse's mind, once he really establishes that you're his enemy, that's when he's gonna kick you in the jaw. You're gonna take him out riding